Beers and Banter, episode 28. We are joined by none other than in-demand Gold Coast Titans back rower, Jarrod. Hopefully Big Dillsy will get here eventually. It's been a massive weekend in sport. Let's rip in. Jarrod, welcome to the Sweaty Box.
Thanking you. It's great to be here and looking forward to the chat.
Yeah, appreciate you coming in. I know you've had another hard day on the pre-season paddock. How are they treating you out there?
Yeah, back on the tools today again, and a little bit of Monday-itis, but it's been pretty good. It's been enjoyable. We've obviously got a new coach and coaching staff as well, so they've been working as hard, and we always pride ourselves on hard work. So we've just been trying to have some fun, enjoy training, and soak up the sun and get a tan.
Yeah, nice. The show is called Beers and Banter. You're on the ginger beers, just for the record, for everybody at home. He is in the middle of pre-season. I'm gonna have a couple of Coopers this afternoon, and hopefully Dilsey will get here eventually. He's always running late, Yeah, really appreciate you coming in. You're obviously a hot topic in the sport right now. We might get into that a little bit later, but I just wanted to. Could you run through us what a week of pre-season looks like at the moment? Yeah,
so a week of pre-season, it's obviously the grueling time of year. I wouldn't say we don't enjoy it, but it can get mentally and physically, it ruins you. But sort of what we're looking at is a Monday to Friday, unless you're in Fat Club. You don't have to go in on weekends, which is we get our weekends if you're training hard and working hard, unless you're a fat mess like Jarrod Wallace. So I was a Monday session today. We sort of have.
I'd be careful. I saw him throw a few on the weekend. He goes all right,
mate. I'm looking for. I'm hoping he wants to fight again, because I'll put my hand up if he wants to go me. I've always said I'd jump in the ring with him.
Look out, 2020. Post-season.
100%. He literally said to me, because he was looking for an opponent, and I said to him, mate, I'll jump in the ring with you. Like, we'll look after each other. A little payday or something like that, and away we go. So if he wants to fight again, I'll be happy to put my hand up, that's for sure.
You heard it here first, folks.
Back to the pre-season training. Yeah, so it's a Monday to Friday. Monday sessions are, so in the morning we have either gym, wrestle. Our coach doesn't like to call it wrestle. He likes to call it tackle technique.
Yep.
Into like a mini skills, sort of ball skills and stuff. And that'll sort of range from the mini skills goes for about half an hour. With rest or tackle tech, we'll go for 45 minutes, and gym sort of ranges between 45 to an hour, just depending on what session it is, because we do gym 4 times a week. Tuesday sessions, and then finishing with the field in the Arvo, which is just skills with the ball, going through plays and stuff like that. And Tuesday is a little bit of a touch up in the morning, which will probably go for about an hour, and gym in the Arvo with. In between, we've got to do all these extras with stretching, and there's a lot of stretching involved, and they're making us do 10 minutes ice baths so every day. So that's 40 minutes of sitting in freezing cold water, which again can start getting annoying, because when you're doing it consistently every day and you're just sitting there in the ice bath freezing your ass off, then it can kind of get annoying, but it does make you feel better. But and then Wednesday's like a sort of cardio session in the altitude chamber, which is an absolute nightmare again. It can sort of get to you, it doesn't gas you quick, but it's your legs, like the fatigue on the watt bike can kill you. And then Fridays, I think Thursdays is the exact same as the Tuesday session, and Thursday is the same as the Monday session, and Friday is a Tuesday session. So, I'm probably in there from. Our arrival's from 8:30 in the morning, which is a little bit of a sleep in. So I like to get up early, about it's probably not early, quarter to 7. I get up, drive to Ida's Cafe and have a coffee and a toasty, and then I'll get myself there by 8:15. And sometimes I won't leave till 3:15, 3:30. So it is a long day, but it's best job in the world, and wouldn't give it up for the world.
In the best place in the world.
on the Gold Coast.
Is there a better place to base yourself as an athlete?
No, there isn't. And there's obviously a lot of talent that's come that is on the Gold Coast. It's just, I suppose, the Gold Coast Titans, maybe, and the Suns. I'm not really too fond, or I don't really know much about the AFL, but both our teams haven't really succeeded in the Titans in a while. So, but there's obviously a lot of great talent around here with the kids we're coming up. We sort of, just growing up where I saw it, all my mates that were around the Gold Coast and getting signed to clubs would always, get signed to either Brisbane or the Cowboys or, Sydney-based clubs, which, is pretty disappointing. But we've got the recruitment staff at the club at the moment that are trying to keep our Gold Coast kids and make sure that we can, keep that talent and hopefully be successful in the future.
It is something that I do like about the squad at the moment is that there's a lot of locals in it compared with in the past. And even if you go way back to the early Gold Coast teams, they were never full of local talent. But it is good to see that there's a lot of locals in there and young guys as well. So take us back. You're born in Brizzy, were you? Fairview, is it?
Fairfield, actually, in Sydney.
Oh, Fairfield,
Sydney, yes.
Wikipedia needs to update it.
I do.
It's shocking.
I've been told that a few times, actually, but... Yeah, I was born in Fairfield, Sydney, and Mum and Dad decided to move up here to the great, beautiful city of the Gold Coast when I was about 4 years old. So I'm a Queenslander through and through, obviously. And,
my kids were born at Tweed Heads, but I don't tell them that.
Yeah,
they got no idea.
Well, technically, it's on the border. You could either pick and choose. So
I always say it's got a Gold Coast phone number, so it must be in Queensland.
Oh, it has to be. Filthy cockroaches. And then, moved to the Gold Coast and... did all my schooling here on the Gold Coast, was a Burleigh Bears junior from 7s to 17s, and eventually got the opportunity to go to Brisbane in the under-20 system. So literally a week out of high school, moved to Brisbane by myself as a 17-year-old, and my mum and dad were split by then, so they were still both on the coast. Moved up and lived in a house with 3 other 17-year-olds that I knew pretty well, and one of them was Ash Taylor, who's with us now, and that was a bit of a nightmare moving in with them. Just 4 17-year-olds, not really knowing what to do. With the biggest problem we had was dishes. Hey, like there used to be one of the boys, Kate. He's a good fellow. I'm still keep in touch with him now. He'd always be at home first and always leave the most dishes, and then we get home because we had to work or you had to study in the under-20 system. Otherwise, it was a no work, no study, no play rule. Used to get home after work because I was a plumber, obviously, and he used to leave mountains of dishes, and because they weren't mine, I was like, I'm not cleaning them. Fuck that. Like,
I'm 35 and I still don't want to do dishes that aren't mine.
Exactly, and then we used to be so stubborn in that house that I'm not cleaning someone else's dishes if I don't have to. And we had a recruitment bloke that lived across the road, not across the road, right next door to us, who the club put him there to look after us.
Yeah.
Long story short, the boys that were in the house before us had this big party and it got out of hand. So they ended up moving the recruitment bloke next door with his family and stuff. And he came in one day and we were all in our rooms and he screamed, "All of yous get the fuck out of here now." And we were just like, what's that? We all walked down Hinchy and he goes, "Sit on the lounge." We all sat on the lounge and he legit gave us one of the biggest sprays I've ever been a part of, and we just, all 4 of us sat there staring at him. And then that was the morning that someone, I don't know who it was, someone was obviously on the piss, and our bins were chock-a-block and it was bin day. And the bin honestly drove straight past our bins, the bin truck, and someone that night had pushed it over and all our rubbish was over the whole street. And we were stubborn, going, "No, I'm not cleaning that up. Like that's not my problem. We didn't do that." So about 8:30 when he come in, we were out the front picking up all our rubbish from the skit, like our bins, and we had to clean the dishes. And then that was the end of the story. We made sure we cleaned up then.
Yeah, righto. You're talking about Burleigh Bears. I was at my junior club. Love the Burleigh Bears.
Absolutely.
I was under 8s through to about 18s, and even I think we had a season which was 21s at the junior club. I never played senior footy, but you've spent a long time there. Is there anyone at the club there that had a big impact on your career, or you look back and know that they were helpful for you getting to where you are now?
Yeah, massively, and I'm always been a big believer that you've always got to remember where you come from, and I had a lot of coaches there at Burleigh, and some that had played first grade before, and Steve Martin, Paul Upfield.
Yep.
They coached me, and I had Chris Martin, who's coached me from a young fella, and there's obviously a lot of people there that had supported me, and that club supported me massively when when I first made my school rep team.
Yep.
Because it wasn't a club outside of school, the Burleigh Bears decided, because I was a part of their club, they pitched in and pitched in for gear and all stuff like that. So they've helped me out massively, and obviously very thankful for the opportunities that they gave me at that club, and they gave me heaps of support and stuff like that, and obviously it's been a good ride with them.
That's good. Next time you're in the club, you'll see my picture up on the wall there somewhere.
I'll have a look.
Never made any rep teams, but I was in. I got to play in some good teams.
Yeah.
Skinny little redheaded kid.
All right.
Yeah. I was
Nice.
sort of like a bench winger. That'll give you an idea of how good I was.
Specialist winger. There's not too many of them going around.
Impact winger. I like to call myself an impact winger.
I like that.
We had some good coaches back in the day then too. Tommy Marzella was one of our managers back then.
Yeah, Tommy.
I think Mark Kokas had a bit to do with us back then. He's probably still there when you come through.
Yeah, he would have. Yeah, he was. The old man was a water runner for a few of Koki's teams, I think.
Yeah, good stuff. It's a great club, and obviously, so now there's a Burleigh connection at the Titans. How's that going?
Yeah, really good. Jimmy Lenahan, obviously, who won the comp last year with Burleigh's there now, and there's a few a few people that have been involved with Burleigh around the club, which is good to see. They're a local team, and Jimmy's been great. Everyone loves him, and he brings a lot of energy to training, and he's got a famous saying, rugby league, and we're enjoying his company, and I'm hoping he's enjoying ours as well. Yeah,
good stuff. And you got two Jimmys, gyms. Is it Jim and Jimmy, or what? How do you?
So that's the thing. I sort of call Jimmy Lenahan Jimmy.
Yep.
Jim Dimmick, who's our other assistant coach, is JD. Otherwise, I just call him Jimmy as well.
And what has he brought that was missing last year, do you think?
So he's actually won a Clive Churchill medal in the GF. So he's done it. He's won a comp, and that's what I'd think that most rugby league players in the NRL are dreaming or aiming to do. So he's done that, and I guess he knows what it takes to succeed. And he's actually a black belt in jiu-jitsu as well. So
legit.
Yeah, legit. He's a scary man, and he's definitely. You definitely wouldn't want to get on the bad side of him, but he's just brought a lot of technique stuff. It's not grubby technique wrestling sort of grappling stuff. It's more, as I said, he likes to call it tackle tech. And it's just a lot of grabbing levers, not dirty. It's not dirty stuff, but stuff that when you're under fatigue can help you in a game.
It's pretty clear that it's just part of our game now.
Yeah, it is.
If you lose the ruck, you lose the game.
Yeah.
If they're getting up too quick. To be honest, though, 20 years ago when we were junior footy players, we were learning techniques how to slow down to play the ball.
Yeah.
Whether it was rotating a certain way off the player, or holding them by their collar as you got up, or it wasn't as advanced as what it would be now, but it's been part of the game for a long time.
It has, and it probably will be until I guess rugby league dies, which I hope it doesn't. It's the part of the game, and I'd say it will be for a very long time.
The game's going well. I think sometimes it trips over itself, but you're starting to see it emerge into new markets, and Sonny Bill going to Toronto. That'll be interesting.
On minimum wage.
It's you've got that to aspire to, mate. That's maybe 10 years off. Big contract like that.
That'll never happen. I don't think. Oh, it'd be nice. It'd be nice.
So you said before you used to room with Ash. How's he going? How's he been going? Obviously, most talked about player in 2019.
Yeah.
Is he looking good? Is he positive? Going well?
Yeah, definitely. He's first time I ever played with him was when I was 12 years old, and he's always been a freak then, and he's he's skillfully a freak now.
Yeah.
He's in a good headspace, I think, at the moment. I haven't really. I've sort of had a chat to him a little bit about it, just asking him, all good, bro, like, If there's anything I can do to help, let me know and stuff like that. But he's in a good headspace. He's enjoying his footy again. He's got a bub on the way. So hopefully that's something.
That really lets you know you're alive when you have a kid.
Oh, isn't it? It would.
There's no debating over dishes until they get about the kids my age when you can start getting them to do the dishwasher. It's just got to get done.
Yeah. So he's obviously got the bub on the way, which I think that'll make him want to play for even more. And he's obviously got Tyrone Roberts there as well, who he's best mates with and loves playing footy with. So hopefully we can get them two kicking and we can just win some games and enjoy ourselves this year.
Do you think, on the back of, you've got Ash there and obviously heavily scrutinised this year. We've had a couple of post-season or couple of incidents. What goes through your head when you see like a headline where a player's been caught out doing something and they're getting raked over the coals?
Yeah, look, I understand that it comes with the job. It's a very, I guess, there's always people out there to get you, and everyone's looking for $1. We've obviously seen. I don't know why. I think rugby league players they get caught. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm definitely sure that it happens in other codes as well. I think they've just. I don't know. They might just be smart about it, or I don't know. They might pay off some people, stuff like that. But it just always seems that rugby league players always seem to get caught, and but there's things that I with the Nelson Asafa Solomona thing. Look, that's sort of a hard one. When one of your best mates, you're out on a night out on the piss, and it's kind of weird. Like as a kid growing up, I never thought of being an NRL player and have people sort of look up to me. And it's only really started last year where I guess not heaps, but there was after a game, if I went out, there'd be people that had sort of recognised me. Yep. And it's the same thing that sort of happened in Bali. Like you're in Bali with your mate having a holiday, and you see one of your best mates get king hit, and then someone comes at you with a weapon. Everyone's going to do exactly what Nelson did. You're gonna.
I think so.
Yeah, you're gonna fight for your life. Like if someone comes at you with a weapon and stuff like that, like what are you meant to do? Just stand there, or it's a hard one. I understand that it does come with the game and stuff like that, but. It's self-protection. Like you got to look after yourself. I think it's a little bit of both. I think sometimes NRL players could probably do more to help themselves. Yeah. And then other times, I think as a society, we hold footballers or sports people in general to way too high standards. We spoke about it quickly before we started recording, but the Westpac CEO, there's been allegations against Westpac, 23 million breaches of Australian anti-money laundering laws. He stepped down and he's on gardening leave and will receive $2.69 million over the next 12 months. If he was a footy player, he'd be in jail. He'd probably get fined for $2.6 million.
And he may end up in jail yet. Who knows? But it's that's. I just think we hold our footy players to a higher level than we do our politicians and business leaders and religious leaders and all this sort of stuff. And there's a bit from column A and a bit from column B. I think footy players. If it was me, I'd probably be on a remote island somewhere on a beach kicking back. But hey, everyone's got to blow off a bit of steam. But you got to look after yourselves.
Yeah, exactly. I understand we have to look after ourselves, but a lot of footy players. I'm not saying every footy player, but we enjoy like going out with your mates and having a few beers and going out, having a dance and stuff like that. It's just when everyone starts getting a bit pissed and it gets out of hand that things can get a bit heated. And we've seen that a fair few times, which is it's just. I understand it's not a good look for the game, but we do have to help ourselves. But then again, some people just aren't after us, and
it seems to me the game's got its priorities skewed a little bit too. Like there's guys in the game that I would class as have done far worse than what some of the indiscretions that guys get slugged for. Yeah. And it all seems to be about the story. If the story doesn't, if they can spin the story the right way, then the guy's right to play. But if it shines badly on them, then they're not allowed back, sort of thing.
Yeah,
That's
Todd
Carney being a perfect example of that. Like, I don't think Todd's really ever hurt anybody but himself.
Yeah, exactly.
And has probably, been the worst affected out of all these players.
Yeah, but that's life, and sometimes things will go your way, and sometimes things won't. So it's just you got to be smart about it, and just make sure you're always being respectful to everyone you meet, and making sure you're a leader for kids who aspire to be like you one day.
Yeah, that's good. We went down a bit of a rabbit hole there. Sorry.
No.
What's the new coach like? So Justin Holbrook, he's obviously come off a successful season in the UK. A lot of pressure. People want instant success on the Gold Coast. We were talking about it before that. One of the things that really triggers me is when Sydney media tee off and start saying that the Gold Coast will never work. I think it will. I think this is the best place to succeed for an athlete. We've just got to get the right people in the right spots.
Yep.
Is he the man, do you think?
Yeah, 100%. I think he is. He's won a comp in the Super League, and winning a comp anywhere is not. It's bloody hard to do.
Yep.
So when you win a comp in an elite competition like the Super League, and he's worked with Trent Robinson down at the Roosters, who just won back-to-back premierships. So he's obviously got the experience there, and I was lucky enough to work with Justin with the Junior Kangaroos when I was in that side, and so he's come to the club now to, obviously his dream was to coach in the NRL, and he's got that opportunity now. But I'm a big believer that a coach is as only good as its cattle. We've definitely made sure we're working hard this year and listening to Justin's sort of theories and what he wants to bring to the club, and not only with footy but with in the community and stuff like that as well, and just little things like picking up your rubbish and always cleaning up after your mate. If your mate forgets to put his rubbish in the bin, then go and do it for him and stuff like that.
Do his dishes for him?
Yeah, well, shan't be. If anyone leaves any dishes around, I'm not touching them. But he's been really good. Everyone's enjoyed training this year. Everyone's enjoying, the coaching staff's company. So it's exciting times ahead. And as you said, the Gold Coast can be successful.
Yeah.
What better place? I've actually spoke to Justin about it. What better place to live than the Gold Coast? Play footy up here professionally and win games and potentially win a comp. And that's obviously my goal. I've spoken about that. I want to win a comp. So, and what better way would it be than doing it in my hometown? Imagine the party the Gold Coast would throw if we won a comp. So if we can get the right people, and which I think we do, and on paper we have a stronger side as anyone in the comp. So
it looks pretty good.
Yeah, definitely.
Forward pack's full of rep players. Ryan James will be a big in for us this year.
Massively. He obviously had that ACL reconstruction, but he's starting to train pretty well at the moment. He's ran with us and done a few defensive stuff. His knee's not fully there yet, but I'm sure come round one next year he'll be a big in for us. That's for sure. Yeah,
that's good. What do you do to get yourself away from the circus that is the NRL or rugby league in general? What do you do to just disconnect, and what do you do for fun?
So I like a bit of golf. I'm a golf man. I don't mind getting out with a few of the boys, say on a Wednesday's short day, which is so that's mostly the days I try and get out and play golf with the boys. And I'm a big NBA fan as well, so I'm always at home watching that. I love the NBA, and I've been off the punt. Actually, I've been off the punt, so I've stopped me $25 multis that I've been trying to win big in the NBA, but I always keep track of scores. And
we've stopped punting on this show too because we were no good at it.
it's the worst thing in the world, eh? You always get. I suppose it's good in a way that you get that expense that you could win. You watch the game, and when you know no chance, you start, fuck this. I've had enough. I'm not doing it again. So I've been off that, but been off the punt. But I've been keeping on track with the NBA and making sure that. I think it's a big thing that we've got to, tune off and get away from footy. So golf and, watching the NBA and keeping track of that and just doing other things as well. I've got 2 dogs and a missus, so they kept me on my toes, and so I just try and get away with them, and you take them for walks or the beach or whatever it is. So
yeah, I've started walking the dog. We got a new puppy. He's an absolute nightmare. Wasn't my idea.
How old?
He's about 6 months old now.
Oh, okay.
But if he doesn't get walked, he doesn't sleep.
I've always said, hey, I reckon puppies are 10 times harder to look after than a newborn child. I don't have one. I have a little nephew, and I always thought it was easier to look after him than it was my 2 puppies when they were very little.
To be honest, for a fair while they are, because at least if you want to go on holidays or something, you just put the kid in the car with you and you're off. But, eventually kids are quiet too. There's usually 3 things that, food, sleep, change the nappy. Whereas dogs, I don't even know what planet they're on.
They do my head in, but I love them.
Don't want to miss anything. How was the Nines? You got to play in that at the end of the season. Was that a good experience? Do you think that's going to catch on?
Yeah, I think it will. It was at the New Paris Stadium, which was unbelievable. The crowds and that, obviously, Australia being our home side and our home turf was amazing. We had a big crowd there, and obviously got the 2 games in against USA and PNG, and actually managed to score a meat pie, which was nice. I can retire happy in the Nines as a World Nines winner and a try scorer. So
beautiful.
It was a great experience. It was obviously the inaugural World Cup Nines, and I was lucky to be a part of it with a lot of good players and a lot of up-and-coming players as well. So we obviously had a young squad there, and especially being I hadn't played at that stadium yet, so it was the first time I got to experience that, and it was it's pretty schmick. The field was unbelievable, the atmosphere, the crowd. It just it was really good.
Is it similar to Seabus, or is that the next level?
Yeah,
again?
I was about to say it's in a way it's similar to Seabus. It's probably a bit bigger, I'd say.
Yeah,
a bit bigger than Seabus, but very similar in its in ways where you're watching and you can see everything that's going on. You're not like ANZ where you're about 100 metres from the field from the front. So it's it's a good place to play footy.
Not too far away.
Yeah, no, it's really good.
Obviously, I can't let you get away. One of the biggest topics while the NRL media circus tries to keep itself moving over the off season, your name keeps getting thrown up. Where are you at with your negotiations or your contract, or are we going to see you? Are you still at the Titans in 2020?
Look, it's been crazy. Hey, it's crazy to think that I'm popping up in the newspapers with all these contract sagas, and apparently, and it's not a saga. Like it's really nothing. And I've obviously had a lot of phone calls about it from friends and family and stuff like that. But I've just been honest. Like I've literally told everyone the same thing. Like that's what I've got a manager for. That's why I pay him. It's his job to negotiate contracts and stuff like that. And to be honest, I haven't had anything put in front of me. My manager said that there was offers were gonna come in this week. I think he had a big weekend on the piss, so I thought he was gonna call me today, but I haven't got a phone call, and I don't want to annoy him with that.
Yeah.
I just want to let him do his job and let him get back to me with the offers, and then I'll sit down and go from there and make my decision. And if I sort of just said to him, can you go and get, I guess, the best possible offers that you think you can do? And he said to me, do you trust me? Like, I'll do it all. I'll get the best possible offers for you, and then you can decide. And he's been pretty good with that. He hasn't forced me to make a decision. Yep. He said, mate, it's your career. I'll guide you in whatever way you want me to, or I'll tell you what I think and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's your decision. It's your decision that you have to make for yourself, and my partner as well. And so I'm just waiting for him to get all that done, and then have everything put in front of me, and then I'll make a decision. And I've come out openly and said I'd love to stay.
Yeah,
it's my hometown. I love it up here and stuff like that. But I understand, it's a business at the same time, and you've got to do what's best for yourself. But I've come out openly.
High cost of living in Sydney.
Yeah,
traffic's horrendous.
Exactly. That's another thing I've got I've got to sit down and work out all the pros and cons with all that stuff. And
Mate, the
obviously
tolls
living
alone
down
are going to
there-
chew up any extra money they throw at you.
Exactly. So I've come out openly and said I would love to stay. So that was my priority from the start. And look, I'm still waiting here for apparently I've got all these offers, but I honestly haven't seen anything. I'm still waiting for everything to be put in front of me.
Well, I really hope you're still at the Titans next year.
I'm still got a year on my contract, so I'm here for 2020.
Well, sorry, I hope you're here long past that.
Yeah.
So I think that certainly the club is pointed in the right direction.
Definitely.
I'd really like to see it. I'd love to see it successful. I'd love us to be able to thumb our nose at the Sydney media that think that the Gold Coast isn't a viable spot. Like when you look at our current roster and you start to realise how many people have come from basically the Northern Rivers through to the Logan area catchment. 3 or 4 Immortals spring to mind, but then all the guys that are in the NRL from that area. This is rugby league heartland, and if they don't stay behind it and they don't give it the time it needs to work and the support, that's what a lot of people. I know that Titans have had the support in the past, but the AFL's throwing millions of dollars at the Suns to be successful, and even they're starting to wonder whether that was a good idea. But this is rugby league heartland. You can't let it fall over.
No, and that's I agree with you. It's rugby league heartland. It's the best place on earth to live, I think. And if we can, as I said, if we get the right people and the right players there, and we're successful, then there'd be no better place than to be winning footy games and enjoying yourself on the Gold Coast.
Yeah. I've got 3 questions for you. We ask all our special guests these questions. It's a bit of a rapid fire. So the first thing that pops into your head, and we'll go with those. All right.
Well, here we go.
First one: favourite place in the world for a cold beer?
Rattled. Jeez, I'm a pub man. Pub. Oh. Favourite? What is it? What does it say?
Favourite place in the world for a cold beer?
Shark Bar.
Shark Bar. Bit of a reno there at the moment.
Oh, no, Burleigh Hotel, sorry. Burleigh Hotel.
Yeah, nice spot. Favourite athlete of all time?
Probably LeBron James.
The king.
Yeah.
Still dominating.
Yes. He's
Lakers are looking good at the moment.
He is GOAT.
You reckon?
Look, at the moment.
So when I was a kid, it was Michael
MJ.
Jordan.
Yeah, I understand that debate. I'm not going to go into that. I don't know too much about all that, GOAT this, GOAT that.
It's I think both in their own right pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. Of the modern era.
Yep.
LeBron is the
better
GOAT.
than Kobe?
Oh. Look, that's hard. But I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
With what he's sort of achieved individually and, Golden State, with the team that they have had over the past, however many years that they've been so good, like, how can you really compete with that many good players in one team where, they Cavs sort of only had LeBron and Kyrie, so.
They've all split them up.
They've split them up now, and that's why it's interesting this year to see who's actually going to win.
Third and final question. So you can have any 4 people from history, so alive or dead, over for a barbecue and a beer. Who are you inviting and what are you cooking?
Stone Cold Steve Austin. Yeah. I would love to have a beer with him. Growing up as a kid, I love wrestling, and he's one.
316.
He's one man I would love to have a beer with. Then I'd probably like to bring. I'd love to meet Mike Tyson.
Yep.
That'd be pretty cool. 2 more. Jeez, you put me in the rocks here. It's harder than you think. This actually.
I usually give. I forgot to tell you before we started.
No, that's all good. Another person. Just trying to. I'd probably LeBron. I'd have to have him there as well.
Yep.
And then finally, I think Bob Hawke would be a good one.
Hawkey.
Skull and beers with him.
I'll bring him back for you.
Bobby Hawke, he's obviously renowned for his walking up the walking up the stairs at the cricket, and they always give him a beer and he sculls it. So I think he'd be a good man to have a beer with. And what am I cooking? Well, I'm a man who likes to cook up a roast and roasted veggies with, some chili flakes over them and rosemary, rosemary stuff with some steamed veggies, just something like that, with a few cold beers on ice and with an esky out the back under the pergola, with the wind hopefully blowing. So
sounds real good. Jai, thanks very much. Good luck with all the negotiations, mate. I hope it's not too torturous for you, and enjoy the Chrissy bait.
I appreciate it. You too. Thank you.
Cheers. Thanks, mate.